Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. We have a review of the audiobook of Fight Club. I was supposed to finish it in one day because it's super easy. It's 4 hours. However, it was a shorter day and there was a lot of work. Plus, we were working the bus with the boss. I'm allowed to have music at work, but I just don't want to taunt him. But I don't think that by taunting, uh, I don't think by taunting you get anything in life, right? Guess what? We have these, right? And we have this of the actual Crash Liberty fight. Okay, wait. Okay, nice. I know exactly where to start. So we do have this, right? There you go. First fight parking. Okay. So again, this is a lot of information. So Fight Club, the audiobook. First of all, it was read by Edward Norton, and what I do like about Edward Norton is later on, and there's nothing against Brad Pitt, but later on, Fight Club was called a misogynistic piece, which isn't. And Brad Pitt was like, he was close, it was quick to distance himself from the thing. But Edward Norton didn't. He stayed loyal. So proud of Edward Norton, the pace at which he's going, the tone that he's using, the fact that it's him, and the story is the story of Edward Norton. Tyler Durden is a fabric of Edward Norton, so the fact that Edward Norton is one that reading is kind of cool. So we have the Fight Club. Talk about how he's going to. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a real start. So we have this character, right, and he's depressed, and he's going to all of these clubs, and going to multiple clubs a day, and when you understand why you understand it is because you feel so shitty about the whole entire life that he's living, right? And then now that he's living this life, it's like, well, what do I have to do? So he's kind of an asshole. And he goes to the therapy group because those people they have it more worse than him, and also to defend him, he's insomniac, so he can't sleep, and the fact that he can cry and release his emotion, he can sleep better. So he becomes addicted because if he doesn't go there, he becomes he can't sleep, right? We're crowing Marla, nice. And Marla, why we hate her is because she's also a liar. She go to a testicular cancer group, and it's like because it's amazing how the main character says, by her lying, she's exposing my lie, right? And it's more than that. It's like main character feeling like she's exposing him. She's the same person that he is, but she's not unapologetic about how she is. She's not unapologetic about being a fuck up, and he's still trying to say, I'm this good person. I'm this very functional human, right? And if they're the same, then it looks bad on him. We have we know, bro. In the first couple of minutes of the audiobook, we learn how to make a bomb, which is insane. And it's not necessarily how to make a bomb. It's not probably not true, but the fact that they included that, it makes you feel like, yo, this is crazy, right? We have, I guess, okay. So we're talking about we're talking about uh bitch tits bobs, which is a dude. So this is in the entirety of the work. If you don't count, it doesn't come until much later. But if you count on Big Bob to tell you a story, it's not gonna tell you a story. It's just that again, the writer talks about how is testicular cancer stopping from producing testosterone and unbalanced is estrogen testosterone. Now, and that book was written in the 80s, I think. And if you think about today, discussion about estrogen and testosterone with trans people is very common knowledge. But the fact that we knew this from before, and it was a different kind of knowledge. That is something that serves that to a certain point, but just knowing that this is the cause, it made me think that the book was so smart because again, we're getting this small information, and there's a ton of that, and it's the book. Why I love this book so much is because it's about growing up. It's about this guy who's discovering and bettering himself, and by knowing this information, we're learning, right? So insomniac, out of body. Okay, so cool. So he does talk about how being insomniac, it. the problem with being insomniac is you feel out of body, and this is gonna be so important later on. So important, but this out of body, um, you know, what you would call it, this out of body experience or something that is bothering him, and it doesn't talk about because if you go to sleep deprivation, I've been doing deprivation, just for experiment, just for fun. I like the high it gives you. Um, I should not say that, right? Okay, fuck it. So yeah, I like that how it gives you, and this is the result of these. And if you look at my mom, she doesn't have that. So yeah, so we have this, right? Out of body. It's kind of cool because we got Chloe meditation, and meditation. Why again? So the purpose of me writing notes, right? It's the things I found interesting, and there probably is no there's probably something I'm gonna be missing, and I'm probably gonna talk about things too much. But fuck it. We talk about Chloe meditation. And Chloe is a cancer survivor, and she's kind of like a what do call it? She's kind of like a important character because we just had the main character who's talking about out of body experience, and meditation is to get out of body. So Chloe comes in with this idea of maybe I can go somewhere, maybe I can do something, right? We meet Marla. We know that she's lying. It's her lie, my lie, Tyler. How changing cinema. Okay, real work, and okay. So his job, the main character job, is a insurance, like not broker, but he does manage to see insurance. And there's even this amazing say that says, well, how much does it cost to fix a problem versus how much it's going to cost to pay people not to talk about it, right? And it's kind of cool because he has all these dirty secrets, and he feels like he's like kind of like an anarchist knowing these secrets, but he doesn't use them. So he's traveled a lot, and then we meet Tyler. Tyler is just a simple guy in the beginning. He's just a simple guy that goes from trajectory to trajectory. But in the movie, it's a better version of the book. So basically, Tyler and the main character doesn't have a name. They meet and they have this conversation, and the main character is pessimistic and Tyler is pessimistic when the main character is narcissistic. Tyler is narcissistic. There's a lot of similarity and they get along really well. They're talking about making bomb, they're talking about his business, making soap. Right? Okay. They even mention how they're changing the real work. So for example, they were talking about the cinema when you had those two dots of burning, and it meant you changes the reels, and it's just things that it's not gonna serve me in life, but knowing how it works, real, no under learning how something works without needing to learn it nor wanting to learn it, and as it doesn't feel like it's pushed on you, but just feel like, hey, fun fact, it's kind of cool. I did like that. Meetings, only sleep naked, and more movie. Okay, yeah. So they talk about how they're changing the cinema and they putting some naked scene. So it's kind of cool. We talk about the job and Shred's Tyler is an artist, right? So Tyler is an artist is I wrote that because he met Tyler on a nude beach, and Tyler put some logs on the beach and he plays them in a certain fashion. It didn't seem like nothing. And he sat naked because it's a naked beach in the middle, and you don't understand why. Then you realize that the sun, it hit like a sundial, and when the shadow creates a perfect end, and he sat in the palm of something perfect just to destroy it. So he's an artist because he has his perception of what is perfection. He's an artist because he creates soap. He's an artist because of the way he talks. He's a salesman, you know? So I did really like that because you have Tyler who's an artist and the main character who's like this work jockey. He's this desk guy, right? And he doesn't have any imagination. He's just living from 9 to 5. That was a really nice contrast, right? But the stray, right? It's perfect, but destroy both Marla. Me need what? Okay, but yeah, but destroy it. Destroyed it, right? It destroyed the image of perfection. Both Marla and the main character need to go to the group, so they're starting to fight because although Marla she's okay with him being there, the main character he's like no, it's not okay. And Marla she has a good. We later learn why she's going to the clinic and why she's going there, but per now, the main character is being selfish and he's like, I want to go to all the session, and she's like, okay, let's share it. And the movie again is done better. In the movie, they're arguing, they're negotiating, so that was kind of cool. But it does a job here. Um, Needs group apart. Okay, so basically what happened is the main character, he goes into a airport and he takes an airplane, and back then the system weren't that good. So how they would check it, they would activate the vibration, and if you had a vibration, you had to stay behind because it might have been a bomb. That way, if you have a phone, the detonator. Right. So a lot of people, and there's this whole speech about vibrator and how sometimes it's a dude that has a vibrator. And again, it was way back, so it was less accepted. And this whole talk about vibrator and how it's shameful that you get exposed. Now, the main character has an electric shaver, and that electric shaver produces vibration, so he misses going back home. Because he misses going back home, the apartment is blown up. Right, so everything he had, and it's kind of cool because this is going to be super important later on, right? He lost everything in his apartment, so he's calling Tyler, and while he's calling Tyler, the janitor has some really wise thing to say. He's like, "Oh, when you, I was impressed, bro. It's not a janitor, sorry. It's a superintendent, I guess." And it's super interesting because it said, "Oh, well, you had a lot of things, but sometimes we don't know what we want. We end up getting a lot of things that we don't want." And he was giving solid advice on how maybe this is a new start for him, and also this is gonna be super important following. Right? He's obsessed with IKEA. He spends so much time talking about his IKEA um is talking about his furniture from IKEA and how it fit perfectly. But it's funny because there's this understatement, there's this underlayer of importance to the IKEA furniture. He's talking about how perfect it is and how well it fits the apartment. But he's not talking how much he loves it. He's not talking how he feels like that's part of him. He's more like this table that I'm doing the video on. My father made this table, and he's talking about all of this furniture doesn't have attachments. So yes, it looks good, but it doesn't feel good, right? So that's something that is kind of cool to know. Say you don't know what you want, that's why. Like, yeah, I'm moving, right? The main character asks Tyler, "Can I move in with you?" And Tyler says, "Yes, I'll let you move in with me, but you have to punch me." And this is why it's called Fight Club, because this punch results in the two of them fighting each other, creating the first fight, which is in a parking lot, which is becoming a fighting, right? The now identity people, what? Okay, weird. What? It's this fight creates a fight. It's weird because my notes are upside down. The first rule don't talk about the Fight Club. The second rule don't talk about the. Oh yeah, okay, okay, I get it. Okay, I remember. Um, Now identity, new identity. Wait, what? I write like shit, dude. I write like absolutely shit. First rule, don't talk about the Fight Club. The second rule is same bit with members. So there's a different member in the Fight Club. You don't talk about it with them. You got the first night. The seventh rule. It skipped from the third rule. It's Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The third rule is when you say stop, it stops. Like for example, when they fight and somebody says stop, it stopped because they wanted to create this fight club and they say we need rules, and those are the rules. The seventh rule, we skipped the four, 5, and 6. The seventh rule is the first night you fight, right? The first fight is in a parking lot because they're punching each other. They change something. The bar closes. The beeps. People are looking. So it's seemingly like just two guys fighting, and they really start going at it with each other, and it's kind of cool because the bar closes and they're like, holy shit, this is a fight. Um, the MC looking tired, and the boss is like, "What happened?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I didn't want my body to not to have scars." It's kind of cool because this is something that Tyler says. So there's this duality of it being him. This feels good. He does feel good about it. His body is shattered. He's hurting. He's aching. His body is sore, but he does feel great about himself. Now you realize that both the MC and Tyler had shitty father, and that's why there's this quest to masculinity. And when Tyler Tyler talks about the generation of men raised by a woman, right? But then you realize that not necessarily because um, it was absent father more than the mother. Then they move it to this super popular, but fight. What? Not complete. But oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Since they didn't have any father, fighting makes them feel complete, and they became super popular. The Fight Club. Tyler, they both move into the abandoned house. What? Again, it's out of order. First rule, okay, people become. Okay, so in the Fight Club, people they become more like, for example, there's this kid, right? And it's kind of cool because after the first fight, he goes to this meeting, and in this meeting, there's this beautiful kid, and he's really beautiful. And it makes him tell about another kid that was a waiter in a place he used to visit, and how he did fucking good, but he couldn't tell him, and he just wanted to tell him, "Yo, kid, you did good. You actually managed to pull off quite a good fight, but he couldn't." So that was one of the rules, right? They have this new identity inside. They have this identity in real life. And there's this person and the Fight Club, and the author really takes his time to talk about how it's not the same, and how those characters are completely different. And it's kind of cool because I was talking about duality of being myself in Vendetta. Sometimes I do prefer being in Vendetta. So you prefer your real self or the Fight Club self, and that's nuts because when you think about that, it's when you can create new identity, you can create the identity you want. When you're yourself, people know you. Yeah, exactly. A new identity, people become, uh, okay. Duality of life feel like a fam, and it does feel like a family. And those people are a lot of people of them didn't have a family. So as I wrote, it's just the fact that it's a family for them, and those people, a lot of them they're all either depressed, they're alone. So it's kind of cool that they have this society, this club, if you want, because it's a fight club. They talk about how the oh my god, they talk about the generation raised by women, but like for dudes, okay, but like Tyler, oh, but right. And he's talking about how Tyler and him both are so super similar, and they both had dad. And it's funny because the main character he said every year I call my father and I ask him what to do because I think my father understands, but my father doesn't know shit, right? And it feels like his father by not knowing what to do next and not teaching him how to figure out how the next step is not abandoning him but failed him, and that's super important story wise because the fact that he's abandoning him is the fact that he needs to get that masculinity. You need that to get that masculinity is going into a new man, right? With that didn't plan through. It feels alive after the fight club. In the fight club, it's not necessarily about the fighting. It's about the person making them tougher. So there's a lot of people. The author spend a lot of time talking about how the people they come in and they're after a couple of weeks of fighting, they're more shaped, they're more in shape than if they went to the gym. They're sculpted like Greek gods because of the fighting. It talks about how the people they can be everything. They can be the social status. It doesn't matter in Fight Club, and everybody has to fight. And it's kind of cool because again, we're seeing that those people are like, yo, uh, I'm not might be a lot in life, but here because I am something, it means something, and I'm gonna push myself to be the better version of myself, which is fantastic. Feeling alive, Fight Club, not about fight, talk about the person, making them tougher. Tyler speak for him. Yeah, so a lot of time the MC, that's weird. A lot of time the MC wants to talk. Tyler talks for the MC. And although the MC doesn't mind, it is a bit weird. There's a really good reason for that, but Tyler is definitely like the alpha male and he's better. Spike for him, never fought so curious. What makes the MC curious about fighting is that he actually never knows self-destruction. And Tyler is always telling the MC he has to lose everything to gain something. So the apartment, he never gets self-destruction. All he did was build himself up and up and up without understanding what he was building. And he needed self-destruction to understand, okay, this is what I built, this is what I can build now. Complete we become super popular. Tyler face. Yeah. So Tyler ends up fucking Marla, and the reason why he ends up fucking Marla was because Marla called the MC and said, "Hey, I'm gonna end my life," and the MC doesn't give a shit. But the Tyler, he answered the phone. He's like, okay, I'm coming. I'm gonna help you. So then he has sex with Marla, and Marla is in a kind of like a relationship with the main character, and Tyler. It's weird, right? Favor, it's like make it feel like what? And Tyler is asking the MC to keep his identity secret. He says, "Don't talk about me with Marla. Don't talk about me. When you see her, don't mention me. I'm never there." And it's weird because every time Marla's in a room, Tyler isn't there. There's a really fucking good reason for that. Really, really, especially amazing. I'm gonna tell you guys, it's a huge spoiler. Fuck, I shouldn't tell you. Okay, just keep the rest of the video. It's not gonna be. I only have like a couple lines first. So Tyler and the main characters are the same person, and since the main character lied to go to the session, he lied to Marla that was a liar, so he knows he has this like honor bet with Marla. Don't lie to me, I won't lie to you, right? And then we have the recipe for soap and how soap is important and how it's a business because basically it's kind of cool because they're paying for a house and they're building basically and they're building this house from the ground up, and the selling the soap is the business that they both get involved in. The main character and Tyler, right? We're seeing a lot of self-hatred from Marla, and it's cool because Marla self-hates herself, but the main character also self-hates, so that's another thing they got in common. The main character is not willing to admit that he has that, right? Get a job. We had the recipe for soap, how to make soap and fat the water, and it's kind of cool because in this moment they're like they're spending a lot of time making soap is and is and he's creating this like this lifestyle, right? And then he thinks about everything that you lose in his enlightenment. If you lose everything to win everything, if you lose like he lost his whole entire life, and then he lives with Tyler and he's happier, right? So it's kind of crazy that this happened because he lost everything. So that's a proof that is understanding what Tyler's trying to say. Tyler also disappear. Okay, that's like I've talked about that. Marla, cause of lie, aiming at the end. Oh, yo, let's go. Yo, then you get the chemical burn. So basically, the chemical burn was Tyler. He asked a complete. He tells the main character, "How far are you willing to go for me?" The main character is like, "I'm willing to go everywhere for him." And you have to understand that the relationship between the MC and Tyler does seem again a bit homoerotical, but it's just because Tyler is everything the main guy wants to be, and Tyler is this role model, and this main character is evolving thanks to Tyler. So you want to keep evolving. So he has to stay close to Tyler. So when he's willing to do everything you want, he put a chemical burn on his end, he put his saliva, and then it is Tyler shaped of a kiss. And you realize that it's Tyler mark on the main character. Now he impact his life. I have a burn here. That was a girl I used to love. She took her cigarette and I'll say, hey, we just finished high school. Say, I'm gonna miss you. Really gonna miss you. She took her cigarettes. I was an asshole. I was a simp. I did that movie way before, you know? So we have it's kind of cool because he said, I found you a job at the banquet. It's about peeing and about messing up the food. There's a huge, like, part of the book about him ruining a perfume bottle. I don't think it's interesting, so I'm not going to talk about it. Right? Creating, the irony is that they're working for banquets, so they're working for the elite, but they're pissing in their food. So there's kind of like this irony. And those people, they know that they don't get paid well enough. So they expect a shitty service, so they're going to get a shitty service, right? They started selling a lot of soap, and a lot of soap it actually goes to helping the whatchamacallit, the house in itself, and it goes back into saving the house. And again, the main character is falling into the more house is fixed, the more he misses his old life. You know, there's part of him that likes his life he had, so he wants to go back to therapy. And there's only one person in his bitch tits Bob. Something we talked about 20 minutes ago. He talks about him the Fight Club, but he's like, yo, it's not possible. Me and Tyler created a club, and then the MC start learning that Tyler has been doing club in his back. He's like, holy shit! Guess what? He start not trying to believe Tyler, right? And it's amazing because the more he distrusts Tyler, the more he trusts Marla. But Marla was the person he didn't trust in the beginning. You understand how that's fucked up? To talk about Marla meals plan and how she steals from her dead neighbor, and they still have the meal plan. So they say, "Oh, they're sleeping, they're sleeping." I did love that because it's smart. It's a way to fuck the system over. Um, Nice. She talks about why she's like that and why she go to therapy, because she was afraid of growing old. And she talked about why she almost wants to die. She said we shouldn't grow old. And Marla, she seemed crazy when she talks. She makes a lot of sense. She talks about how the old animals, they don't grow old, and us as humans, we're able to grow old, and that's not natural. And I don't know if she's right. I know that the fact that your hairs are turning white is because you're not supposed to live that long, and those are cells dying. So it does make sense. She talks about her therapy, how she had cancer the first time, and that's why she went to therapy. She was genuinely looking for help. So she didn't lie. She didn't lie. She went to one group and it helped her. And then she went to the second group and it helped her. So it's kind of fucking nice. And I forgot to talk about Chloe, about how Chloe wants to get fucked. Because she's almost dying. She's talking about sex. And this is something that's referred in this conversation. There she said, I only want to have sex one last time. Right? And this is what Marla talks about. I don't want to grow old. I want to die when I'm supposed to die. Right? And Chloe comes into that because, again, the fact that she wants to have sex. Right? It proves to the MC, like, oh, she's willing to die after that. Right? She said the same thing. And because Marla talks about that, she thinks about it, right? The reason why she also wanna commit Marla is because she thinks about ghosts. And at first you're afraid of ghosts, right? But no, it's because she used to work at a funeral home. She used to work filling up urn, and she was a bitch. So that she thought that the ghosts were hunting her. She was not afraid of that. She's just been around death a lot, and it's kind of funny because the main character said, "You have to lose everything to win everything," and Marla, when he see her, he's like, "Oh, she lost everything," you know. So it's nice that he does this like self analysis and is in a positive manner. Ghostbusters saw death a lot. Learned that apartment was blown. Oh, we learned that the apartment was blown with TNT, and it was Tyler. But Tyler, when he asked him, he's just like, "Oh well, I wanted you to lose everything because I saw potential in you, and I wanted you to gain everything, right?" We're gonna learn later the truth, but for now, that's what I'm gonna tell you. He wanted the main character to hit bottom, and to help him. Another night. What Mary? Oh, okay, yeah, nice. And basically that's it. That's the song. That is the not the song. This is the part one. So I know it's a bit chaotic, but super good. I'm gonna wait until I do a second part to do like a review of the thing. But know that I love you, that you matter, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more video. Good night, peace.